So we're live. Let me share my Discord. Discord shared. This is good. So we have two guys. They each had to go for a second, but they'll be right back. Let me share.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. So I'm just sharing
Okay.
the link to the room with the chat. Yes, I'm listening, and yeah, we're live on YouTube too.
Wait,
Okay,
what's
cool.
your channel name?
I'll give
Yeah.
you a link in a second. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm setting everything up right as we speak. So you'll have a link.
Okay.
You can always refer back to it. So you can improve your debate skills. It's always a good thing. So here is, let me make sure I'm in the right room. So here is the link to the current stream. So you're saying Suzanne Diane Wojcicki was born in Santa Clara County, California, July 5th, 68. The daughter of Esther, which, okay, Esther is like a Jewish name, an American journalist. Oh, yeah, Jews are journalists many times. And Stanley Key, whatever, a Polish physics professor. Yeah, that sounds Jewish. Like these are Jewish professions. Stanford University. Her maternal grandparents were Russian Jewish immigrants. Okay, we don't know from which side. Oh, maternal. So her father is not Jewish. So it's only her mom is Jewish. She's half
I mean, the
Jewish.
way you're classed as Jewish, even if your dad is Jewish, you wouldn't be classed as a Jew. It has to be through your mum for you to be classed as a Jew.
It depends. It depends. It depends. So in the Jewish religion, there's the classical Jewish religion. Yeah, what we call based on the Talmud, whatever the Jewish
Talmud, yeah.
the Talmud. So there they say it depends on the mom, but when you read the Bible straight up, it's clearly the dad. So whatever, it's whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the fact, like your name, right? Slave, right?
Yes.
So let's think about this.
Mhm.
So I want to explain how every single aspect of the slave trade was Jewish,
Okay.
and how most of the reasons the American slave trade happened was because of Jews.
Okay.
The way it would basically work
Mhm.
is most of the time, like black people think, oh, it's all because of white people or because of Europeans, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But basically, it was black people taking other black people hostage,
Mhm.
and they would sell them to Jewish people
Mhm.
for alcohol and for like guns, like not guns, I think,
Mhm.
but like in general, just for resources and for alcohol and stuff, you know, for other types of resources. But it was basically black people betraying other black people.
Okay.
And here, I'll give you some names of the main ships that like transported slaves, and then their owners who were all Jewish.
Wait, what do you mean betray?
So you have,
Hold on. What do you mean betray? What do you mean betray? I mean,
because black people would get like their gangs to kidnap other people from other villages, other black people, and then they would sell those black people off to Jews for alcohol and, you know.
are you sure? I mean, what else do you know? I mean, are you sure these are the facts? Because maybe the fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's been.
You sure about this?
I can give you that, and I can also give you the name of the ships and who owned them, and if they were Jewish or
No,
not.
no, no. I'm just curious whether on the black side it was what you call gangs or was it war? And was the alternative?
I mean, give me a second. I'll literally get you a
No,
source. Give me
no,
a second. I'm gonna mute, but
no.
I'll find you a
It's
source.
not
No.
critical. I don't want to get bogged down with sources. I'll just I'll just say the alternative that it was war, and in war it's either you get killed or you get sold as a slave. So preference.
Mhm.
So I would say that
I mean, that might have been part of it, but I
my
even
point,
like.
my point is that it's not. I wouldn't say it's betrayal. I would say it's practical. In those days, it's not
Yeah.
like today. that everybody's so nice to each other. In those days, it was brutal, and it was either
Yeah,
be killed or be a slave. It's up to you. So
yeah, and but I'm well aware, and I can give you a source for it as well
it's not
if you
critical.
really want.
It's not. No, I don't. I don't want to get any
No,
sources. Let's work with.
okay,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, about like that. A lot of like gangs would like kidnap people from other villages and
Okay,
sell them off as well.
that's fine.
But um,
I wouldn't
yeah,
call
if you want, I can tell you like the ship names and the people that own the ships that like would transport and if they were Jewish or not.
the people that owned the ships. I mean,
That
ownership.
the people who own the ships, the dealers, the owners, the shippers, the supporters of the slave trade, and like in general, just like everyone who was involved in it.
I mean, you could say that the Jews. Let's not. Maybe we should say something else. The is there another
The orange juice, the orange
orange
juice.
juice? That's better. The orange juice. Okay, the juice. Let's talk about the juice.
Yeah, the orange juice.
The orange juice. So the orange juice. Look, I know that they like banking. I wouldn't even say they like banking. They were forced into banking because
I mean, I can tell you the story on how that started as well.
we can search that. We can look into that. But as far as I know, the orange juice were bankers, a lot of them, and the banking system was very like a lot of orange juice was in the banking system. Okay,
Yeah,
so a boat might be something that needs financing and stuff. So it could have been owned by a bank. The bank was a lot of the orange juice is involved with bank, so you could tie
but I mean,
boats.
these are ships that were directly owned by juice, orange juice. So
Okay. Well, so the question is, did orange juice own a lot of boats? And
they owned most of them. Yes, in
so
fact, most of the boats that would transport like slaves and
no,
resources and stuff are all owned by Jews.
before we go to slavery, the question is, did orange juice just own a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff was, some of it was boats, and some of the boats were used for transporting goods, and some of the goods were people like slaves. So
I mean, it was mainly because, like, yes, they had a lot of money and they saw this as a business opportunity because this is like a very lucrative like business model back then. And yeah, so they like invested their money into it and took part in it.
okay, I mean, for them, it's not like today that we frown upon slavery. In those days, it was like they were saving lives. So for them, it was
I mean, saving lives, people were dying on the ships and they wouldn't feed them and they were in horrible conditions. It's not like they were going to
look. It
another
was
better place.
look. Everybody was dying in those days. I mean, the survival rate in those. It's not like today that everybody's healthy, and if you manage to get born and not be aborted while you're in the mummy's tummy, they don't murder you. But if you manage to get born today, most likely you're gonna live a full life until you're like almost 100.
I mean, these people could have lived a peaceful life in their village if they didn't get
No,
kidnapped and sold.
statistically very improbable. It was like the survival rate in those days was, as far as I know, was horrendous. It's like people had 10 children and two survived, or maybe not even that. Everybody died. Everybody died all the time, all the time. It's like death, death, death. So to claim that, and to say that, oh, the slaves were dying en route, everybody was dying everywhere all the time. Sailors were dying. Everybody was dying. I mean, those were different days. If you look at those ships were tiny compared to today's ships, and they crossed the ocean, which is that is so no one would do this today. And anyway, so life was completely different in those days. So to say that they were dying, everybody was dying. It was different. It was a different time. So So yeah.
I mean, if you would live past like pregnancy, if you survive pregnancy and over the age of like 5, you are most likely around to live to like between like 30 and like 60 was
I don't.
like
I
the
look.
average lifespan.
I don't know. I don't know the statistics.
I mean, I can give you sources if you want as
Well,
well.
we know that they had disease and they had all these viruses and they didn't have any medication. They barely had any knowledge of medicine. It was mostly nonsense. They gave the medication in those days was crazy. It was more dangerous than the disease many times. Medicine anyway. These were different times, so it's very different.
I mean,
Hmm.
you still can't argue the fact that they would have lived a better life if they didn't get like put and sold.
No, no. The alternative was to stay in Africa, and even today, no one wants to go back to Africa. In those days, Africa was death. No white person could step into Africa, and even the blacks were. It was very, as far as I know, no, and as far as I know, they would have died. It's either get sold to slavery or die. It's not die because I don't like you. It's die because it's either me or you, and well, it's one of us, and it's not going to be me, so it's you. That's so. It's not like they could have had a beautiful life in even today. Life in Africa is not beautiful compared to the U.S. So they were given.
I mean, not beautiful, but they would have lived for a lot longer.
I don't think so. I think life.
I mean, statistically, they would have lived longer.
I don't know. I don't know. And in my opinion, no way. No way. As a slave in the United States, I think your life was a lot better than as a free man in Africa. And the fact is, when the blacks were freed, no one went back to Africa. No one has gone back to Africa except for a statistical error. No one goes back to Africa. No one likes Africa. Everybody prefers the U.S. with all the racism and the schmacism and the. Everybody wants to go to the U.S. from all over the world. Even from Africa today, everybody wants to go to the U.S. So
Yeah, because it's more progressed, and
but
we can talk about the IQ of like the average IQ and intelligence of
that's
black people and why they're in that position as well.
that's we could talk about that. But it's certainly arguable. It's I don't know. In my opinion, they could have even thought we're saving lives. Everybody in the chain of slavery, they thought we're giving these people a better chance in life.
That is not what they thought. This was a business model.
It doesn't matter when you go and you do business with someone, when you give business to someone, obviously you're giving them a chance. Like if people come to you to do a business for you, to fix your house,
If they truly wanted to save lives, they wouldn't have like chained them to the floor of the ships and like not fed them and let them like excrete on them onto themselves. Most over 50% of the people on the slave boats, by the time they would reach America, over 50% of them, if not more, would have died already.
fine. Then you could argue, I don't know, that all of them would have died because the tribes were killing each other. Just a few years ago,
Yeah,
there was.
but I think they would have had a better life in Africa, even if it was primitive, and they would have lived to like, let's say 35 instead of getting taken to America. Somewhat better life condition, arguably, but not really, because they're getting beat and like forced to work and getting fed very little, and die like 5 years later instead of living a slightly less advanced life, but for 20 years more.
Look, I don't know. I don't know if it's knowable. If you I just don't know. So it certainly is possible to think of it two ways, that maybe the way I see it, it's certainly possible that everybody in the chain of slavery thought they were giving the slaves a chance at a better life.
I mean, if you want, because you said you don't know, I can give you sources with like what their intent actually was and like more about it.
Sure, I'm just saying, look, we could research this, but My point is, even the children in those days were a type of a slave. What were children? You didn't have children's rights. Children didn't have rights. Children were beaten, to submission. No one had rights. Wives were beaten to.
I mean, look, if you go on this website here that I
Hello?
just sent, there's proof about everything that you're thinking about Jews, like whether they control this, that, how it all worked. It's all on this website.
It says
It gives you the names,
tells
the
me-
statistics, and you can double check all of these if you want.
it tells me you look like a robot, so it's not letting me in. So sorry.
No, wait. You need to, when you click on the link, you need to wait a couple seconds so it registers you in.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
waiting. It's not. Doesn't look like anything is happening. It's telling me you look like a robot. Here, I'll share with you.
Wait, is there like a captcha? Do you have to do a captcha?
No, I'll show you. I'll share with you the screen. Share your
Okay.
screen. 403. Let me just make sure that there's nothing personal here. Okay, I'll share it.
Okay.
So it just says you look like a robot, and that's the end of that. I'm gonna.
Oh, it might be because if you have a VPN on, maybe. But
Yeah,
I have
maybe.
a VPN on.
Look, it's not critical. It's
Thing,
not,
but
I'd look. We should in a debate. I'd rather use as much of our brains as possible and as little sources as possible. It's I don't mind using sources, but I just wanted to move faster. Look,
I mean, here, if you check your DMs, I sent you a picture about the boats and everything.
Well, and you can kind of read him out, like the stuff that says in there, and if he doesn't believe it, he can double check.
friend request failed. You don't accept friends?
Who, me?
Jesus enthusiast.
Hey, I sent you a friend request. And then check your DMs.
Yeah, I see. Let me wave. I see the picture. I'm showing it on the stream. Okay. The owner, Aaron, Levi, Frank Simpson, Levi. Well, okay. Levi is probably a family. They were into boating. Bosch. No, Bosch is not Jewish. Bosch is German. I don't think Bosch was.
I mean, you can double check who all these people were, and it will tell you that they're Jewish as well.
Kruger, I think, is Jewish. Phoenix, I don't think so. Gomez, no, I don't think. Oh, yeah, Gomez. I see the first name.
Yeah, but you should like check.
You
It's
can
not-
double check these.
I
They're all
think I
Jewish.
don't.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're
I
all
think
Jewish.
It's fine.
First.
It's fine. D Wolf, D Swouts, I don't know. Roosevelt, I don't think so. Roosevelt is like an American or whatever. And again, Levi. Yeah, it looks like this Levi people. Oh, they're saying everybody's Jewish? I don't think Roosevelt.
They're all Jewish. You can type it up.
That's fine. That's fine.
You can double check these
That's
people
fine.
if you don't believe it. But here as well, you were talking about banking. I'm gonna like screenshot the ones about banking.
It's
And
not look, but it's not. You're trying to convince me of what? I can grant you that the orange juice is wealthy. The orange juice look, they're smart. Everything starts with their.
here, I sent you about the hedge funds, about BlackRock, and about how the Federal Reserve is Jewish as well.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me that they have high IQ. And because they have high IQ,
Yeah. Not high IQ, just manipulation tactics for sure.
that's for manipulation. You need high IQ. I mean, you're not going to manipulate. If A and B are two people and
Well-
they're trying to manipulate each other,
I mean, it's true they
Well-
have an above average IQ compared to other societies, but that doesn't mean that they should use it for evil how they do.
Yeah, and also like the fact like women are better at manipulating than men are, but women have lower IQ, so we can't really.
I have
It depends what the situation
second.
is.
just one second. I have a question in the YouTube chat. So we have weapon.
Yeah, it's me.
It's you, Weapon Crusader. It's you.
Yeah, I'm just like
That's
typing
nice.
it up.
That's cool. Anyway, look.
I like the
So
visuals.
I grant you they are smart, and because they're smart, they can manipulate. Now, when you say evil, I don't know what is evil. As long as
Yeah,
Uh,
you
I'll show you what evil stuff they do. They do child sacrifice and a bunch of very satanic stuff.
child sacrifice.
okay, we
Mm,
we can
uh,
we can look at it, but just before that, look, when you say evil, right? To say slavery was evil, slavery was legal. Everything was legal. Everything was sanctioned by all the governments on the planet, especially the British government that was, the empire of the day. So what do you want the orange juice to do? I mean, they want to make money like everybody else, and this is legal. And so what do you want?
Yeah, but they're doing stuff that's not legal, and they fought against it being abolished.
well,
Look,
you can wait. I actually can Google this myself. They
Here, I
sacrifice
sent you
chickens as well.
stuff about how they're satanic as well, and about the child sacrifice and
look,
stuff that they do.
we can look into that, but we were discussing slavery. So as far as so you we need to finish up the slavery, then we'll get to whatever other issues we have. So as far as the slavery is concerned, everything was legal. Everything was above the table. Nothing was under table. Nothing was, as you call it, manipulation. They were doing whatever you do today, as long as it's legal.
Yeah, but it was still immoral. Even if it was legal, it's still immoral.
But
Yeah.
how do you know what is immoral? Like, all you know.
Okay,
Mhm.
let's
You
say
can
one of
do
your
it.
family members was kidnapped, sold into a ship, like basically starved to like death, forced to like excrete onto himself, and then land somewhere, forced to work 16 to 18 hours a day, fed basically nothing, and given like a really bad like really bad like kind of hut where they had bed bugs, lice, and all sorts of stuff, and disease spread like a lot. Would that be moral? Would you want that to happen to your family member? Would you allow that? Do you think that's just?
Look, yeah, again, these were different times. So it's difficult to judge their times in reference to our times. Even if you look back,
It's not that long ago. It was like a few hundred years ago.
1 second, even if
It's not like
you look back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, life was, compared to today, life was miserable. Look at cars. Go to a museum. Look at cars.
I mean, people were actually statistically happier back then than they are now.
I don't. The, Look, you can go.
I can give you like sources for that as well.
You can go live. Right, the quality of life of those days still exists in third world countries. No one is stopping you to go live in third world countries, but no one is going there. Everybody's running from third world countries to the US. Everybody wants to go to the United States.
Okay.
To tell me that people were happier than today, that's unlikely. People are happier today. You have the internet today. You have so many luxuries today. Even if you're poor today, your life is by far better than a normal person in those days, in my opinion. Look,
Okay, sure. We have all of this stuff, but do they actually make you happier is the question, because
you can
suicide rate and mental illness was never as high in history as it is now.
look. All I know, that's possible. I don't know. That's fine. But the fact is, no one is going to third world countries. In third world countries, there is
Yeah.
no suicide. No one wants to go to third world countries. Everybody from the third world is dying literally to get into the United States, where everybody apparently is committing suicide. So you have to take it. You have to look at the full picture. Maybe today there is.
Well, there's been a lot of technology advancements and stuff, but that doesn't mean that anything's gotten better. If anything,
Yeah.
it's gotten
They
worse. In
can
the
look,
1970s and 1980s, people were statistically more happy and more fulfilled with their life
but
than they are now.
you can
Now
go
you have a bunch of stuff.
look
You have stuff, but it doesn't mean anything.
fine. Then you can go live like people. You can go live anywhere in the world. By far, most people are trying to get into the United States, where
And
apparently
you.
what?
Yes, because there's more opportunities there,
Yes,
work
I don't know.
opportunities
I
for
don't know.
money and
I don't
for.
care. Look, I'm not judging. I'm just saying you're saying everybody's so sad and everybody's so depressed and everybody's committing suicide in the United States. In the third world, everybody's busy eating whatever
Each other.
rats. So no one is committing suicide in the third world, but apparently everybody from the third world is literally
Oh,
dying to get into the US. Look, my point is,
I mean, people in the US do have like a higher suicide rate and
yeah.
depression rate, and more people are prescribed anxiety
I'll
and depression
grant you,
medication than in any other country.
I'll grant you that. But the fact is, people from the third world, they see it. They see there's so much depression and there's so much suicide in the US. Nevertheless, there's by far more people from the third world dying to get into the US than vice versa. No one basically.
Yeah, because there's more opportunities, job
Yes,
opportunities.
even though there's so much suicide in the US, but fine. Maybe you'll go to the US and maybe finally you'll have a chance to commit suicide. The point is, everybody wants to get, yeah, maybe, it's the freedom to commit suicide. That's also, if that's what you want. In the US, you have more freedom. And that's what apparently people want. Anyway, look, I think it's a little bit off topic.
I mean, you have freedom about stuff that doesn't matter.
Look,
You don't have freedom about stuff that
Look,
matters.
you can go live, even if you're in Europe, you can go live in a village somewhere on the hills of Romania where you don't have internet, you don't have electricity, you don't have credit cards. Fine, go live there. But no one wants.
I mean, you probably have electricity, but no Wi-Fi,
Fine.
no
All
internet.
right. So, but no. As far as I know, people want to go live in cities. People enjoy the city. People want luxury. People want a high-rise apartment with a beautiful view.
I mean, it depends who you ask. Some people just
Yeah,
want to live like on a farm.
but
It just
people are
Fine.
not very smart, are they?
Look. Okay. Let's get back to. Let's finish. Let's finish up slavery. So I could easily argue that whoever was involved with slavery, we cannot judge them too harshly because this was just.
it was legal, but it was immoral, and they
I
fought
would
against
not.
it being
I would
abolished.
not say it was immoral. I would not say that because I don't. We don't know. It's immoral. We judge it to be immoral. They didn't judge it to be immoral, but they.
Okay, I'll give you another example that's from a bit more long time ago, just to give you like a reference of something else that's immoral, but by your standards, you would class not immoral because it was like a long time ago and they had like different culture.
Mhm.
Like when Europeans like found the Americas, when they like went to the Americas, there was like indigenous people like cutting babies' heads off and stuff and doing like blood sacrifices to like random like sun gods and stuff, and then the Europeans like killed off all these people because they thought it was wrong. What do you think about that? Do you think they should have let their culture prevail and no, they should have let this be because it's not immoral for them, it's subjective?
Look, if I were a European and I came to America and I saw children being sacrificed, I would have tried to save the children, even if it meant.
But then why don't you use the same logic in the slavery example? Why wouldn't you have like tried to stop the what's going on because it was in
That's
horrible
me.
conditions and
But
people were
that's
dying?
me. That's me. That's us today. Look, for Europeans, they maybe I don't know. I don't know the facts. What you're telling me, you're just asking me, can you justify a European killing adults because the adults were
No, I'm saying by your
Mhm.
by your standards, that means that was moral, because for them it was moral. So it's okay. It's subjective.
Look, I don't know, but according to your
But then how can you debate if you don't know anything? You don't have sources for anything, and you don't know.
well, um, I don't understand the question. I mean, obviously, I am debating. I'm bringing up enough questions to.
Yes, you're debating, but then none of what you're saying has any like source or any like standing. You're just saying words, but not like backing it with any history or what's going on or anything.
Wait, I have a question for Mr. Slave.
Mhm.
Are you atheist?
Yes.
So your morals are subjective.
No, I don't have morals. I'm amoral.
So if I killed one of your family members and I was an atheist too and saw it as like justified because they felt like it, would you like
By your standards, that would be moral, because I thought it was moral.
No,
So you would
yeah,
have to class it as moral.
no,
because everyone has their own morals.
no one has their own morals. That's a lie.
But then you can't apply a way of thinking to one side but not to the other side.
What
You
is
have to be
good intentions?
consistent.
I don't know what that means, but if you ask me,
You're not being consistent with the way you're like thinking. You're applying it to like slavery,
What are
but
you
then
guys talking about?
in the Americas I would have stopped it, and then here, oh no, it's not moral. But then it's only moral in some cases and it's not moral in other cases. You have to be consistent with what you're believing
I'm
in.
amoral.
You can't
I am
you
thoroughly.
can't pick and choose.
I am thoroughly amoral. I never used the word moral. I don't think I've ever used the word moral in my life. I hate.
I mean, as an atheist, you can't have any morals. There's nothing to live by.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
you
true.
just like
No, that's not true.
you're
No,
okay. What
I
do you
can
I
live
mean,
live.
by?
that is true.
What?
What do you judge your morals compared to then?
I don't have morals. I don't judge morals. What I have.
Exactly. So then why are you saying that it's, oh no, we do have morals, but then oh, we don't use
No,
morals?
I don't have morals. And look, it's a different topic. We can get into it. My point is that like when people need to choose what to do, all they have is the legal system. When you say morals, I don't know what that means. There is the legal whatever.
I mean, you can type up the dictionary definition and you can see what it means.
Yes, I know, but
Plus, wait, question. You mentioned like you go by laws, right?
mhm, mhm, yes.
You said you go by like yes, so yes, you go by laws.
No, I didn't. I said people don't have. People cannot go by morals. Like, what is moral? Like, moral is what you say. You tell me that oh, that's immoral. Like, if I some people say that to hire someone to pay a salary, that is slavery. Some people say this. That actually famous people say this. What's his name? The old Jewish guy, philosopher, linguist.
Aha.
What? Uh-huh.
So how
Jewish
do you
guy.
how do you know what's right or wrong if you don't have morals?
Yeah, if
or
I like
belief in
come and like
something?
just like shoot your mum in the head, like what's like
It's illegal.
like
Is it
then
moral or
by,
not?
by an atheistic standpoint, you would have to say that that's moral
I
because
say,
oh, you don't use morals, but then you would have to agree with it because it's my understanding of like what I want to do.
oh, Chomsky, Noam Chomsky. So he says that I don't know if he says or he said some.
Can you answer what I said though?
No, I'm just finishing off. I didn't remember
Oh,
his
okay,
name.
Karam.
So he said that that wage. He calls people wage slaves. So he says if you pay someone a wage, that is slavery. So and he's very famous. So So what? So it's
Okay, but what do you think about what I said? That like, if I was to come and shoot your mum in the head,
let's
you
not
would have
use,
to class
let's not
you'd have to be okay with that by
let's
your
not
morals,
use
by
let's not
your standpoint and your views. You'd have to be okay with that.
let's not use such nasty examples. So let's say you.
No, but I'm using this example because you wouldn't care if someone else got killed, but someone close to you, then you would care.
No,
You
no,
know,
no.
anyone, most people don't care if someone on the other side of the world gets killed. That happens every day.
No.
But then if someone close to you got killed, they would have a much bigger impact on you. That's why I'm using this example.
Look. So even if you killed a puppy, I would get upset. Even if you.
Okay, let's say I killed a puppy.
Mhm.
And I killed it because I felt like it.
Mhm.
You by like what you've been saying, by your mindset, if you were truly consistent and didn't switch up, then that would mean that you'd have to agree with me because I felt like it. And there's no morals, there's no objective morality. So I just felt like it. It's okay. Like there's no problem with it. And you'd have to agree with that if you were truly like consistent.
Okay, so I am amoral, so I never use the word moral. What I use is the word.
Okay, tell me if you would agree with that or not.
I just don't use that word.
Is it right for him to kill a puppy? Yet?
I just don't use.
Yeah.
That. So what I would say is what you.
I'm not using the word moral. I'm saying, would you agree with it or not?
That what?
With me killing a puppy for no reason.
No, because I would say it's illegal.
Okay, but then that's a moral thing. Would you judge me for it?
Judge you legally. I would judge you legally. I would.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's not a crime to kill an animal.
Of course it is.
But here comes what I wanted to say. You based what's right.
But then
or
that's
wrong.
morality. If you're judging me, that you're judging what I live my life by. So you're saying that you don't use morals, but you're using morals in your argument.
No, legal.
Let me say something though.
Mhm.
He said that what is right or wrong he gets from the law, but where did the law get this information of what's right or wrong? Where did society? How did it learn what's good and what's bad?
I don't.
Can you
know.
answer that?
I don't know.
Well, it's from
So
Christian.
you're judging your whole life premise off of stuff that you don't know.
mostly
You don't know
religion.
anything about the rules that you live your life by.
I don't know where society.
Yeah, so you don't know what you're living your life by.
No.
Because you said you don't know where the law gets
don't
its
know.
laws from.
I don't know.
So you don't know like what you live your life by. You're living by rules that you don't understand and you don't know the origin of.
Look, so this is already the philosophy of law and maybe even the history of law. In general, the legal systems evolve with with societies, and different societies have different legal systems, and then some societies survive and some societies die out. So the legal systems of the societies that survive, those legal systems survive. It's like you can.
Well,
Mhm.
guess which one did survive? The Christian and Muslim ones, and the pagan ones died out.
No. I'm looking at legal systems, but you can also say religious systems. Yeah, certain religions didn't survive.
Yeah, but the law, a lot of the laws come from religious books. By what
Yeah,
religious books used to live by.
I wouldn't say that the laws come.
No, that's a fact. That's not like arguable. That's
Yeah.
like a fact. Like they do come from a lot of the
If it
laws that
didn't
you
come
see
from
in the law.
religion, where did
In
it
many
come
countries, come from religious books.
Yeah, it looks. You might say that, but you might also say.
Might. I mean, it's a fact. Like you can't deny it.
Yeah.
You could look. You could say the opposite. You could say that the religion is just a codification of the common law. It's like
Okay, a copy, but the religion came first before there was any law.
we don't
So
know. We don't know what came.
no, we do know.
Yeah.
Look, you could say that in the old days, religions and legal systems evolved at the same time. You could say there was no.
Well,
There was no.
religious systems came before a lot of legal systems,
We don't.
and
know that.
a lot of legal systems copied their laws from religious books and religious texts.
Look, in the beginning, we were tribes. Like when we came out of the last.
But you're not addressing this. You're just saying about other information. You need to address this.
I'm we're talking about evolution, so I'm discussing the evolution.
I mean, we're talking about where do laws come from. I told you they come from religious texts, which is a fact, and you're denying it. It's
I'm not.
a fact. Like you
I'm
can't just.
sa-
I can give you a source for it as well.
but I that's a look. If you give me a source, I would say that's appeal to authority. You need to argue from
What? So you just argue off of words?
you
All
argue
your
you
claims are off of words?
look, we need to argue from first principles. So whatever you know, you bring to the table in the discussion, and we can discuss it. So just give me a source that.
Okay, but how do I know your information is true? If there's no source, how do I know that's reliable?
So you question it. You cross-examine my you know what information I bring to the table. You can question, or you know, or you don't question. It's up to you.
Okay, but when I questioned it earlier, I asked you for a source, and you said like, "Oh, we're not talking about sources. We're not like doing this and that."
Look, you're saying what you're saying is already appeal to authority. You're saying I have a source that's going to say that laws come from religious books. So I'm saying let's discuss it. Let's ignore whoever said that. Let's ignore them. Let's talk from first principles. Let's talk about what we know, not from what somebody said. Let's ignore.
Okay, but it's a fact. It's not that like, oh, this person knows, like just this guy, like everyone knows, like everyone in that type of industry knows, like this is like it's a fact that they originally came from
What do you mean?
religious text.
What do you mean originally? What does that mean? So I'm trying to go. So listen. Just
A
listen.
lot of the laws that you live your life by now originate from religious texts and books
And Christianity in particular.
Look,
and Judaism and yeah.
It might look like that, and I understand that it might look like.
No, but it is that because I can
Yeah.
give you proof for that. It's not that it looks like it. It is.
Look, I'm trying to finish a sentence, and you're not letting me. So if you want, I can.
Yeah, because you're not addressing any claim. You're just moving on to a different topic.
What? No.
Okay, then address it.
You want to debate, but with no sources. You don't want to prove anything you're saying. You just want to talk.
Okay. Let's be clear, Mr. Sliff. Can you address that the law is not from religious text? Please address it.
Yeah, I'm trying to address it. No, I'm not able to.
Okay, address it. Here.
Yeah,
So-
address it. Go ahead. Don't say I'm trying. Just go ahead.
Okay, so we know that about 10,000 years ago, the planet came out of the last ice age. And until then, there were no religions. We know that the first temple that archaeologically we found is from about that era. It started from 12,000 years ago. It's called Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. It's a famous site. And that's the first temple. The first time people got together and built a temple. Before that, there were only.
Isn't the temple is religion?
Yes. That's the first. That's from the archaeological history, from the archaeological evidence. That is the first time a religion was came about, evolved, started evolving. So they built a temple. A few hundred years later, it was covered up in dirt, so they probably forgot about it. Or a few thousand years went by, and then they built it again. A few hundreds or thousands of years went by, they built it again. They built it and destroyed it a couple of times over a few hundreds or thousands of years. So we don't know why they did it, and it's over many, many, many years. They probably didn't even know. Like the grandchildren who rebuilt that temple, they probably didn't even remember that there was once a temple in Göbekli Tepe. Anyway, that is the first religion. Before that, we were tribes, small tribes, and small tribes don't really have religions. They just believe in spirits. They believe that you can talk.
Living spirit is already called religion. What are you talking about?
Okay, you could say, but they didn't have a god, like the idea of a god and stuff, and priesthood. There was no.
Well, Well, the tribe worship that spirit is already considered as worship as a god, is their god.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. I'm just saying that the first temple, the first like stone temple is from about 12,000 years ago. That's when modern religions started appearing, and that's when basically humans.
That is modern, but what about a traditional religion?
Well, what do you mean? What you call traditional is just those religions that survived over the thousands of years since then. So different religions.
Traditional religion are were the religion that based on the tribe practicing worshiping spirit. That is a traditional religion.
Okay, what are you trying to say? What's your point?
The meaning that as soon as the first human encounters spirit, that's where religion.
Okay, but what's your point? I mean, we're discussing the orange juice, if you know what I mean. So we're discussing.
So what we were trying to say that yes, it is proven that the law in society will always comes from the influence of the practice in society, what we call it religion, or some sort of a spiritual practice. And that's what happened in my tribe. And there is no such thing as a name for it, but somehow the tribe people in this island practicing this kind of a ceremonial spiritual things where they encounter spirit existence, and they create their own law in terms of that practice. Like for example, who do we kill? Who what kind of a people we want to kill? We don't want to kill this and that. Based on that real spiritual things.
Yeah, look, I mean, anyway, the point is that religions evolved. I mean, the big religions, the religions that build stone temples, they started evolving about 12,000 years ago. And they were, as we can see in Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. So the temple came. They built the temple, and then it was destroyed over time. Then they built another one.
Well, in my tribe in Asia, it's been really over and over many years ago, many thousand or billion years ago, people worshiping a spirit, and they formulated the law based on that spiritual practice
Um,
in Asia. I'm talking about in
you
Asia.
you
Well,
don't
Turkey is also part of Asia, Western
right,
Asia. I
right, but
guess
you
it's the
don't
same thing, but
but you don't know. You're saying the law evolved based on the religion. You don't know that it's not the opposite.
well, we have a bunch of evidence in my tribe where the law on how to slash human, it has to be based upon of a spiritual practice. So it's not
And
just anyhow you eat people
I
or
understand.
you kill people.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that that's how you feel, but we don't know how things actually evolved. And even they didn't know. And I don't know if we'll ever know. So we don't know what came first. Did they first cut people, then the religion evolved, or first the religion evolved and then they cut the people? Or maybe it's a mix.
No, we actually know for sure that the first human society are encounter some sort of a phenomena, and that phenomena, it's a spiritual phenomena.
We don't. I don't know.
And based upon that, yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't know what you mean. I mean, people perceive people perceive spirituality. Even today, you talk to people, they perceive something spiritual, but we know it's nonsense. Today we know that anything spiritual is
It is not nonsense. I mean, even in the modern science, in neuroscience, is still not nonsense to talk about consciousness. It's still indebatable whether it is a physical being or a non-physical being. Is still debatable whether it is actually a atomic particle element that is reacting each other in the brain. No one scientist be able to explain that either. So it's still an open investigation.
look, we today have the scientific method. The scientific method basically assumes that or defines.
Consciousness.
I was just gonna say that.
I mean, if you talk about DNA, right? DNA, based on the science, we can do a measurement that DNA consists of a 4 atomic element. But what about consciousness? No one actually be able to figure out that consciousness is merely atomic chemical reaction in the brain. No one be able to say that. No one even dare to conclude that consciousness is merely atomic chemical reaction.
Yeah, so there's a lot of scientists and neuroscientists that believe that there is no consciousness, that it's just a macro illusion.
What do you mean macro illusion?
It looks like it. Sometimes you look at something from a
So
distance. Hmm.
are you saying that consciousness is just a made up term?
No, the term refers to a perceived phenomenon, but when you study the phenomenon, like every other phenomenon, when you study a phenomenon, it goes away, and you peel away the layers of the onions until until you get to the quantum level. So at the end, it's
Well, think about it. We are when we say we are living in an atomic particle element, meaning that that statement itself says that we're not part of the atomic element particle. But what we are, this is the things that a scientist not be able to prove. That are we actually part of this atomic energy? And what is the evidence to say that we are actually part of the atomic energy?
yeah.
Are we just like merely the atomic reaction, the hydrogen and all these neutrino electron that moving around and makes a consciousness? I mean, no one even say that. No one even dare to conclude. No one scientific or physicist scientists be able to say that we're neutrino up and down quark and reacting with electron and made up consciousness. I mean, there is no formula to say that kind of things, you know.
Look, when you look at an amoeba under a microscope, it looks like it's alive. It behaves just like me and you. It looks like it has consciousness. When it encounters an enemy that is attacking, you can see the struggle. And when it's being killed, you can see the pain. You can see that it's terrified of its demise. But we know that it's just a machine. We know an amoeba is just a molecular machine. So, sometimes a molecular machine looks like it's alive. It looks like it has feelings. It looks like it has pain. It looks like it wants to live. It just looks like it, but it's just a molecular machine. We know that an amoeba is just a very big but relatively simple molecular machine. It's just a mechanical creature. It looks like it's alive. Yeah, it looks like it. I can show you a video of an amoeba being attacked and being.
Well,
Mhm.
that is what you say, but the comparison to human, it's uncomparable. That's why what we are trying to prove is that show us the formula, the DNA or the atomic formula of a consciousness. So the term consciousness came from this phenomena, and it's also evolved from a religious perspective to understand what is a consciousness.
Look,
So that's why there is a
look,
dualistic perspective in this study.
look. When you look at an amoeba, it looks like it has consciousness.
I haven't looked up in amoeba, but whatever amoeba is, it is probably not comparable to human consciousness or to any other animal consciousness.
If
You
I
know, even is it a amoeba is part of an animal or plants? Because plant also has a consciousness, in my opinion.
no, an amoeba, I don't know how
Oh.
it's not. Look, it's not the point. The point is that an
I
amoeba.
don't think we are expert in amoeba, whether it is an animal or plant. You know, I mean, if we really want to study about consciousness, I guess we need to back to the school, back to college, taking a majoring in neuroscience, be able to understand consciousness of a human being.
But
We
you,
focus on the human being first, and we try to poke around the brain, and then what it is, you know, because it is quite interesting.
yeah,
I mean, like we are talking right now. We are talking right now, right? When we are talking, is this talking between each other? It's just merely intelligence of a atomic particle moving around. How do we prove that? How do we be able to do this kind of a formulation of atomic particle that we were talking right now intelligently? We were talking about these kind of things.
right. But
Or
we know that.
or we are actually attached into this atomic particle and we are not part of this atomic particle.
Look, uh, talking. You know already that today there is machines that can talk, and you can talk to them, and they talk back, and they can write essays.
Well, let's compare to AI, right? AI consciousness, right? Can we compare AI consciousness to human consciousness, human intelligent consciousness, and artificial? I mean, artificial intelligent consciousness is really amazing, right? Is we can put that into machine and we can build a robot. But can we compare it? And let's say we do a science fiction in the future. Can we actually make it exactly the same as a human?
Look,
Can we?
maybe.
Well, maybe, right? But I mean, we will be able to formulate a human intelligence just exactly using AI, computer intelligence, and it's keep evolving. Well, if that is possible, then yeah, we can prove. We probably be able to prove that a human consciousness intelligence is just merely atomic particle reacting each other, just like AI.
Look,
Well, before that happened, right? We this is not happening yet, right? We don't have a scientific proof to say that a computer AI is the same as a human AI, a human intelligence. We don't have that proof. Since we don't have that proof, that's why uh, there is a pattern of a human also encountering a lot of a spiritual experience, and that accumulated become religion. Still, we're proving that AI actually can be human.
okay. What what's your question? Where are you? Where do you want to go with this?
The statement in here is that if human intelligence is just merely atomic element particle reacting each other, meaning that we can actually create AI the same thing, exactly the same thing.
Okay, but you can see that AI is progressing in that direction.
Till that, because we haven't got proven enough that computer AI, exactly the same as a human intelligence. Until then we still stick to the religion where we're not sure whether we are atomic particle or we are actually not part of the atomic particle.
So, look, all we have is the scientific method. So, according to the scientific
Uh-huh.
method, whatever is testable, we account for, and if it's not testable, then it's not scientific, and we don't care. So, so when we look under,
By the way,
let me,
I'm driving right now. Are we two of us in here? Are we just two of us in here?
yes,
Oh man, what happened to that English guy?
they left. They felt that they were being eviscerated.
They were being attacked.
What?
They felt they were being attacked by us.
I would say that they tried to make claims, and I destroyed their claims, and they gave up. They thought that they were going to convince me that something about the orange juice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So,
But I think I agree with that British guy that the law is actually evolved from religious practice. That's proven based on the history. It's
so,
really proven. I
so
mean,
I would say, that,
not the other.
so I would say that there's no such thing as where things come from. Things don't come from anything specific. Rather, things evolve. So religions evolved with humans, with society, and legal systems evolved with the religion, with the human society. And what we have today is just the result of all this evolution. But it's just evolution. It's it's very similar. It is a Darwinistic evolution, meaning one tribe managed for some reason to conquer a region and became an empire. So and together with this tribe, as this tribe was conquering and conquering, it swallowed up more and more tribes with their legal systems, with their religions, and a bigger and bigger and bigger religion evolved, just like with amoebas and stuff like that. So like we know that the Roman Empire, it kept absorbing all the gods from every nation and every tribe that they conquered. They just absorbed that religion. And that was the pantheon. The pantheon was just a mishmash of all the gods from all the people that were conquered.
Yeah.
Because the Romans, that was, the philosophy of the Romans was diversity is our strength. They said, yeah, whatever, bring everybody to the fold, and anybody could become an emperor. An emperor is not only somebody from Rome. I don't think so. I think you can have an emperor who is German, who is from the barbaric tribes. Barbarians became emperors. So I think that that gives us a glimpse into how the original religions and the original tribes evolved. Even Rome was a tribe. Rome was a fishing village. It was nothing. It just, for some reason, we don't know why they conquered the world. We don't know why, but whatever they had survived. Maybe even to this day, what we call modern religions and modern ethical systems and modern legal systems, these are just that's just the Roman fishing village that survived to this day in us. We are, the West is just the survivors of that original fishing village. We don't know why we survived and why the others didn't survive, or we don't know. It's just evolution, Darwinistic evolution. It's magical the way it works. It's who knows. It's a flip of the coin, and this advantage, that advantage, and exactly this advantage was a disadvantage because of that, and well, we don't know how things go, but at the end, you have what we have today. That's what we have. So we don't murder each other, but we do abort babies, and we don't rape each other. What we have is what we have. That's it. There's no reason for what we have, and I would not say that the legal system came from the religious system. Everything evolved together. There's no separation of this evolved from that. I don't think so. You could say that the religion evolved from the legal system, or the religion evolved from the moral system. Who knows what came first? It doesn't really matter. Evolution is magical. I don't think it's very predictable. So that's my point. So when you say the legal systems definitely evolved from the religious systems, I say it's not definite. Nothing is definite. I don't know anything. I don't know anything today. We certainly don't know anything from 10,000 years ago, which is the beginning of modern civilization. That's the agricultural revolution, the Neolithic revolution. That's when people started settling down. Until then, there were barely any humans around. Anyway, so to claim that definitely legal systems came from religious systems or from religious books, we don't know that. We don't know that. So that's my point.
Basically, futility in one word.
Excuse me?
Are you serious?
I said basically futility in one word.
I.
Don't you think so?
What do you mean futility? What do you mean?
By futility, I mean that it's a combination of hard work, luck. You can't really say that a thing came from another thing. It's a very big combination of randomness.
Yeah, but we're talking about the evolution of legal systems. So,
Well,
mhm.
what I'm saying can be related to many things, the same as how religions grows from from desert to a religion that 2 billion people believe in it, and another religion that 1 billion believes in it.
Yeah,
From small to the big.
yeah,
But how did you? Yeah.
yeah. We don't know. We don't know why certain
Yeah.
religions evolved to such big sizes and other religions disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
It's evolution. It's Darwinistic evolution. Like you can view religion like you view any other animal, and you can view a legal system and a moral system like every other animal in Darwinistic evolution. You can analyze anything in the world under
Mm-hmm.
as Darwinistic. So why did humans take over the planet? We don't know. Before us, the dinosaurs ruled the planet for much longer than we've been here. We've been here for 10,000 years, barely, since we took over the planet. The dinosaurs ruled the planet for, I think, 100 million years. They ruled the planet. So,
Wow.
yeah. And no one expected the dinosaurs to overnight disappear and for the little rats to take over the planet. The rats that were hiding away from the dinosaurs for all these millions of years. I mean, we were here first. We were here before the dinosaurs. The rats, the little when we were little rats, we were here before the dinosaurs. We didn't take over the planet. From the lizards
Mhm.
came the dinosaurs, which are a special type of a lizard. And they took over the planet, which is very strange, but they did. And we were hiding from them for 100 million years or so, or 200 million years. And then one day there was an asteroid and they all vanished and we took over the world.
Another question would be why did it take so long to our species to get consciousness? Why didn't dinosaurs get one? Why did other species get one?
No,
Why us?
I don't think we have consciousness. I don't think there is consciousness. Consciousness, that's what
Mm,
like when a
no, no.
complex.
I mean to know that you exist. That's consciousness. It's something
Yeah,
personal. It can be defined in many ways.
I don't know what it means to know that you exist. Like most of the time, you don't know that you exist. When you really think about it, you realize it for a split second. But most of the time, you're just a robot. You're just a machine. So can
But but,
Mhm.
but a cat or a dog doesn't know they exist, but we do.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not different. Like the fact that we have words and we have big brains. I don't know what it means to
Mhm.
know. What does it mean to know that I exist? What I
In
know?
in my in my personal belief, I don't use belief system, but you know what I mean. In my personal view, I see that a kid, which between the years of 1 year and 3 years, is the same as a cat or an animal. He doesn't know he exists, but his brain evolves after 4 years or something like that, and they realize that he does exist. So he starts connecting with people and understanding things. It's like his brain evolved at one point. It evolved better than animals.
Yeah, it looks like it, but to me, I am no different than an amoeba. I don't view myself different than an amoeba. So I am a very, very complex machine. An amoeba is a very complex machine, but both me and the amoeba, we're just molecular machines. We're just robots. We're just robots based
Mhm.
on carbon. Like most robots that we build today, they're based on the brain is based on silicone. It's a different architecture. It's a different, fundamentals, different whatever. But
But, but we have something different. We have a pride. We think that we are better than them, so we think that God created us and we will be rewarded, while they are just animals and they will turn to dust.
yeah,
We are something special.
yeah, you might think that. I don't think that. I think that I am just a molecular robot, the same as the amoeba.
No, no, that wasn't my opinion. I was talking in a religious view, or
Yeah,
basically in all views. People think that they are important.
yeah,
Only few people like you and me, a little, think we are not as important as we think. We are just like the cat and the dog with extra consciousness.
exactly. Yeah, but I would say that consciousness is just a very complex machine that looks after itself. It looks conscious.
Mhm.
It looks like, but an amoeba, if you look at an amoeba, it behaves like you and me. It tries to eat, it tries to stay away from predators, it tries to stay away from danger, it tries to stay away from too hot or too cold. It looks like it tries to survive. It looks after itself. It eats when it's
Mhm.
hungry, and then it splits in two when it's too
Just like
big.
just like a monkey. A monkey can feel anger, can feel sad, can feel just like a kid between 1 and 3.
No,
But once the kid grew up,
monkeys,
it's the same.
monkeys are the angriest animal on the planet. No animal.
Yeah, I mean, they can feel emotion. They can solve puzzles, basic puzzles, just like the kids.
Yeah,
But at some point, the kids realize that they exist, and they reach our point right now. But the monkey doesn't realize he exists. That's my personal view. What do you
right.
think?
Yeah, but what does it mean to realize? It's just,
To realize that you think. is that you can use your brain, like you know that you exist.
Yeah, but
I don't know how to explain it.
no, fine. But what does it mean to think? What is to think? What is that?
Think,
What is that?
you know that you exist.
But what does it mean? Define to think. What does it mean to think? What is that? Scientific.
To realize that you are here.
Yeah,
You are here at this point, at the present.
it's just different words. To realize, to think, to believe, to know. What is
Yeah.
all these words?
Oh,
What?
Yeah, but my point is we are different than the monkey because we have something special.
I
What's that thing that is special we have?
no, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything
No,
special. I don't. Mhm.
no. I mean so that we can build civilization and we can do many things other than the monkey, super monkey.
We cannot.
the monkey?
We cannot build civilization. Civilization is something that it's like you don't build a civilization. I don't build a civilization. Like you have
Mhm.
termites. Termites build very complex buildings, and ants they dig underground super complex cities. But a single ant doesn't know how to build an underground city. It just that's what it does naturally. So me and you, we don't
So
know
what?
what.
You're basically saying that we are just smarter than them. That's all.
We're not even smarter. We don't like the Neanderthals were much smarter than us. The Neanderthals had a brain 1/3 bigger than we have today. 1/3 bigger than we have today. So it's not even about being smart. An elephant has a bigger brain than us. But I think the
But at the
Neanderthals.
end, he does.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I think the
But at
Neanderthals.
the end, he does.
Finish. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My bad. Go. Continue,
I
please.
think the Neanderthals
I think
were
Neanderthal does not exist.
what?
I think Neanderthal does not exist.
No, we know Neanderthals do exist. The Asians are at least 5% Neanderthal genes. The Neanderthals were absorbed into humanity, mostly into Asians, a little bit into Europeans. So already you can tell the Neanderthals had certainly above average IQ because the Asians and the Europeans, I think they both have above average IQ.
But let's forget that. What do we have that made us make religions, made us make many things other than the animal? What do we have if we don't have consciousness?
Um, you
An
can
evolved brain? An
an,
upgrade version?
no, I think it's a downgraded version
Oh,
because in order to be right, we humans became a hive, like a beehive. So the
mhm.
bees devolved, so they started creating beehives. Ants, an ant is just a devolved wasp. Ants are just wasps without wings. So the ants devolved into a swarm, into a hive. So in order to be part of a hive, you actually need to become dumb. If you're too smart, you cannot be a hive. In order to be a hive, you have to let go of the individuality. So humans actually, I think we had to become dumb in order to build civilization. I think that's one of my theories that only dumb people can create civilizations. Smart, the Neanderthals couldn't create a civilization. They were too smart, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Well, you see that the humans overtook the Neanderthals. The Neanderthals didn't take over the planet, the humans did. The humans with their much, much smaller brain took over the planet.
I don't know what that species you're talking about, but I don't think there's any evidence that it did exist.
Wait, the Neanderthals?
What is the thing? What is that thing?
The Neanderthal is a different types of human, so or different type of humanoid. So you had many humanoids. The
It's like a monkey.
No, 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 no. They walked on two. There were
Oh,
many apes. So in the
uh-huh.
beginning, there was one ape, probably, that started walking on 2 feet, on 2 legs, and that was
Do you mean the caveman?
the what?
The caveman.
Well, the caveman is the Neanderthal because it was found in a cave. But I think,
Okay, okay, I understand.
but everybody used to live in caves. I think in those days. I think
Uh-huh.
every other humanoid relic that was found, I think, around caves, near caves. So I think everybody lived in caves. Caves were, relatively safe.
Hmm.
Where would you live? In a tent? In a tent, the animals come and they eat you. So
Yeah, just like the animal. We
yeah.
have a sense of danger.
Anyway, so there were a few, I think, I don't know when. I don't know when, because I think 10,000 years ago, maybe there were still Neanderthals running around. I think they were the last. I don't know. I don't know human evolution that well, so I don't want to say anything. But anyway, the Neanderthals had much bigger brains, so I suspect they were much smarter than we are. There's no comparison. No comparison. Like,
That, that's a bold claim. I don't think people would agree with you.
look, but we know brain science. Brain creates intelligence. I mean, what is intelligence? Intelligence is brain
Mhm.
size. If you have more neurons, you have more neurons, more connections. You can remember more, think of more. Like, if you think we're having a philosophical discussion, a Neanderthal in this discussion would run circles around us. He would remember more.
But we don't have that touchable evidence that we can find that brain and see how it were. We only have some news by some people who are doing some research in the lab. That's everything we have.
No, no, no. We know they had bigger brains, and we know that Asians are at least 5% Neanderthal. So, and we know
But
Asians.
a bigger brain doesn't mean anything. There are animals with a bigger brain.
No, no, no. But we know Asians have a higher IQ, above average IQ. I think Asians as a population have the highest IQ on Earth. Asians, I think, have IQ statistically is 106. Average IQ on the planet is about 100. So Asians have 106. So that's evidence that Neanderthal, I would say that's Neanderthal influence. That's the genetics of the Neanderthal influencing the human brain, the size of the human brain. That's my intuition. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's not. Look, it's not important. It's totally off topic. So the point is that I mean, this discussion we started with the slavery. Was slavery good or bad? And did the people who were involved with slavery, can we judge them as good or bad? So my point was that we cannot judge the people from 100 and 200 years ago and 300 years ago. We cannot judge them. They had completely different lives.
Yeah, complete moral framework
Yes.
because the framework evolves as well.
Hmm. Exactly.
Because
So they were
back in the day, slavery was okay.
what?
Back in the day, slavery was okay.
Exactly. Because like
Mhm.
100 years ago, even less, but certainly 100 years ago, I mean, children were treated terrible. I mean, children, when you hear stories how children were treated in Europe, during the Enlightenment, children were
Mhm.
treated, was terrible. You see, you read stories, Oliver Twist, or you read the stories from the 18th century, the 19th century. It's crazy. They lived a disgusting life. Oh, he's gone. Oh, miracle, you're left. Anyway,
No, I'm here.
yeah.
Ah.
So my point is that we cannot judge those people. Now, they were saying it was mostly the orange juice that were involved with slavery, if you know what I mean. Do you know?
No, I don't.
You don't know the orange juice?
I don't know much. I don't know much about Christianity or Jews.
Right, but I was debating people, and they wanted to claim that the orange juice were terrible, are terrible people, and the evidence that they were so terrible is that they owned the ships on which the slaves were transported from Africa to America. So because they were the ship owners, that's evidence that they were terrible people. So
Is there a proof that they were the owners of the ship? A documented proof?
yeah, they brought documents. I mean, some documents. These people that they cherry pick. They cherry pick data to support their theory, but it's fine. So I told them, look,
The same as we don't know anything about the universe. This can goes like we know anything. We don't know anything about history as well. History can be really easily fake.
yes, but even if you say that it's true, I told them, listen, so fine. So all it shows is that the orange juice were wealthy and they owned ships, and some of the ships were used for the transportation of slaves. But this was legal. Everything was legal. They did everything by the book. Everything they did according to the law. So you cannot complain. You cannot say. Mhm.
You reminded me of something. In Islam, there is if someone steals, you cut his hand, and some of the countries, not all, you use this verse to cut the hand of a thief. So when you see them cut the hand of a thief, you might say, "Well, this is wrong," but they are not wrong because they are just following the book. So you see, it's really subjective.
Yes.
In your point of view, it's bad. In my point of view, it's bad.
Yeah.
As someone who is following his religion, it isn't bad. He's just following the words of God, as you said.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, it's very easy for us to judge today and say, oh, they were involved in slave trades, but we cannot judge them.
Yeah.
I mean, life was completely different.
Yeah, and this is a disadvantage of religion. Religions have as a disadvantage because they have a stuck moral framework that is used for every place and every year. But as we said, the moral framework evolved. Back in the day, slavery was okay. Now it's not okay. So maybe after 100 years, moral framework would change to something different than what is written in the Holy Book. And people would say, oh my God, the Holy Book, they were doing something bad. You see the point?
Of course.
That's a big disadvantage.
I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Because you can't change what is written in the book. It's holy.
Yeah, that's even that. I wouldn't even say that that is true because I know Muslims who believe in Islam, but they're very nice people. Nice. I mean, they don't cut hair.
There's always minority. Yeah. In every country, in every religion.
Yeah, I mean, you can be you can believe and go and practice a religion without doing literally everything the book says. I mean, if you do literally everything the book says, then you become maybe Al Qaeda, and then nobody likes you, and everybody wants to kill you. So
yeah, you become.
yeah, so everybody has to balance what they follow and what they don't follow in the book, in every religion.
But if we were to follow your words, to pick only the good side and leave the bad side, is this really a guy who is following his religion? I don't think so.
But he would say that he is following. Who are we to judge? People say whatever they want to say, and they want to, people. You cannot judge people. At the end of the day, we have legal.
I can't judge their influence on the society.
I mean, at the end of the day, we cannot judge anyone only according to the law. All we have is the legal system, and something is either legal or it's illegal. Sometimes the religion influences the legal system, and sometimes the legal system influences the religion. So
Yeah, in some countries.
Yeah.
Well, most religions say you have to be kind, but
And I'm kind to some.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't think, but religions evolve. So to say that the religion says to be kind, all it means is that
no,
that's
we evolve to our religion. I mean, we all still hold a grandmaster of it. If we're
not hear
actually
you.
being
I
honest,
hear you. What?
if we're being honest, we have to hold to a standard.
Okay. But okay, go on. Are you there?
I am,
Okay.
but I didn't want to steal the conversation.
No,
No, it's all right.
the conversation is winding down anyway. So yeah,
So who's spanking who here?
no one is spanking.
Nobody.
We're not spanking. We're talking about the evolution of religious and legal frameworks.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I think I'm done. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go away now. So you guys can stay here if you want. I'll see. Wait, let
See
me
you.
Nope.
let me just make you a friend. 1 second. Don't go away. 1 second. 1 second. Don't go away. Miracle. I'm gonna make you a friend. Add friend.
Yeah.
Okay. So add me as a friend, and I'll be in touch with you. I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
See
Bye.
you.
See you. Bye. All right. That was very interesting. That's a good. I'll modify the name of the video after. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe hit like and subscribe and comment and that and this and that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.